Europe is a continent full of history, culture, and breathtaking landscapes. From the majestic capitals to the most hidden corners, each city has a story to tell and a unique experience to offer. Today we will take you on a journey through the 50 best places and cities to visit in Europe. Whether you are looking for art and architecture, gastronomy and traditions, or nature and adventure, this list has something for you. We will take you on a fascinating journey, and we will explore these places together. Each country, each city, is full of secrets. Its customs, architecture, and its people create this magic on the most touristic continent in the world. We have selected these cities based on their beauty, history, attractions, and unforgettable experiences. From futuristic sculptures to medieval engineering, the European continent has much to amaze its visitors. There are places where words simply fall short to describe them. This is one such case. We arrived at the Plitvice Lakes National Park, Croatia. The Plitvice Lakes National Park is a place of unparalleled beauty and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Plitvice Lakes were formed over thousands of years by the action of water on limestone rock, creating natural dams that have given rise to 16 interconnected lakes. This geological process is constantly changing, shaping the landscape in a natural and unique way. In 1949, Plitvice was declared a national park, becoming the oldest and one of the most impressive in Croatia. Today, it is a sanctuary of biodiversity and a must-see destination for nature lovers. The park is divided into two sections, the upper lakes and the lower lakes. Each one has its own unique charm and mystery. The water varies in color depending on the light, minerals, and vegetation, creating an impressive visual spectacle. One of the biggest attractions of Plitvice is its breathtaking waterfalls. The Great Waterfall, at 256 feet high, is the tallest in Croatia. Along the wooden trails, visitors can admire waterfalls of all sizes, each with its own distinct charm. Plitvice is a vibrant ecosystem, home to a wide variety of species. Its dense forests are home to brown bears, wolves, deer, and over 150 species of birds. In spring and summer, wildflowers flood the landscape with vibrant colors, while in autumn the trees turn shades of gold and red. Exploring Plitvice is an unforgettable experience. There are several trails and wooden walkways that allow you to explore the park comfortably and safely. You can also take boat rides on the lakes or tour the park by electric boat, offering different perspectives of this natural paradise. The Plitvice Lakes are a natural treasure that leaves you speechless. Let's continue our journey into the heart of Alsace, where the houses look like they're made of sugar and flowers burst forth from every window. Colmar, the small city that has enchanted painters, writers, and travelers for centuries, welcomes us with its tranquil canals and colorful architecture. Founded in Roman times, Colmar flourished during the Middle Ages as a wine center. Today, its peaceful atmosphere invites leisurely strolls, admiring the half-timbered facades and the water reflections in the Little Venice district. As you walk through its cobblestone streets, the air smells of freshly baked bread and flowers hanging from every window. The half-timbered facades, painted in pastel shades, reflect centuries of tradition and culture. And in winter, Colmar dresses up for Christmas. The lights, the markets with the aroma of cinnamon and mulled wine, and the snow falling gently on the rooftops make it one of the most magical destinations in Europe. Colmar is not just a place to see, it's a place to feel. Rome, the Eternal City, a place where history comes alive. With over 2,700 years of history, every street, square, and monument tells a story of emperors, gladiators, art, and culture. Founded, according to legend, by Romulus and Remus in 753 BC, Rome became the center of the ancient world. The Colosseum, symbol of the Roman Empire, was the stage for gladiatorial battles and impressive spectacles. The Roman Forum, the heart of political and social life in ancient Rome, still preserves its temples and triumphal arches. Meanwhile, the Pantheon, with its majestic dome, remains a testament to Roman engineering. Rome is a city of unforgettable monuments. Vatican City, the smallest country in the world, is home to St. Peter's Basilica and the Sistine Chapel, with Michelangelo's frescoes. Admiring this work takes your breath away. The level of detail and the colors are astonishing. The Trevi Fountain, one of the most famous fountains in the world, attracts visitors who throw coins in with the hope of returning to Rome. And in Piazza Navona, street artists and cafes create a magical atmosphere. The influence of artists like Michelangelo, Raphael, and Leonardo da Vinci is visible in every corner, making Rome a cradle of Western art. Two interesting facts: Latin is spoken at the ATMs in the Vatican. And in Rome, there are more than 1,500 fountains, many of them with drinking water. Rome, an eternal city, a journey to the past that continues to beat in the present. Prague, the city of 100 spires. Located in the heart of Europe, the capital of the Czech Republic is a living testament to centuries of culture, art, and tradition. Prague has a history that dates back over 1,000 years. High above the city, the imposing Prague Castle dominates the skyline. Within its walls lies the majestic St. Vitus Cathedral. The cathedral is a national treasure of the Czech Republic, and it is the final resting place of all the holy bishops and archbishops, along with a significant number of kings. Its spectacular stained glass windows create an atmosphere that marvels visitors and parishioners alike. One of its iconic landmarks is the Charles Bridge. Its statues of saints and the view over the Vltava River make it a magical place for visitors and artists. During the European summer, the bridge is a very crowded spot, sometimes making it difficult to walk and enjoy the beauty of the Vltava River. The heart of Prague beats in its old town square. This square is one of the must-visit places in the city. This is the perfect place to feel the essence of the city. One of its greatest attractions is the astronomical clock. A medieval marvel that has been astonishing onlookers with its parade of figures every hour on the hour since the 15th century. Death, a skeleton with an hourglass, starts the parade by moving its arm. Vanity looks at itself in a mirror. Greed, a Jew with a bag of gold, symbolizes avarice. Lust, or the Turk, represents earthly pleasure. Prague is also a cultural epicenter. Classical music resonates in its concert halls, recalling the legacy of Mozart, who presented some of his most famous compositions here. One of the most intriguing spots in the city is the Franz Kafka sculpture. A kinetic artwork that pays homage to the celebrated Prague writer. Its rotating metal plates are a modern symbol of the city. It's time to say goodbye to Prague and travel to another incredible destination. Toledo is a city that seems frozen in time. With its city walls, cobblestone alleyways, and monuments that tell tales of centuries of history. During the Middle Ages, it was a symbol of coexistence between Christians, Muslims, and Jews, leaving behind an unparalleled cultural legacy. The Alcazar of Toledo, an imposing fortress, has witnessed battles and transformations throughout the centuries. The Toledo Cathedral, or Primate Cathedral, is one of the most impressive in Spain and a treasure of religious art. Built between the 13th and 15th centuries, this majestic Gothic cathedral stands out for its imposing facade and its 302-foot-high tower. The main altarpiece, a 15th-century masterpiece, dazzles with its gilded details and precisely carved biblical scenes. Light streams through a spectacular sculptural ensemble, creating a unique celestial effect found nowhere else in the world. The Plaza de Zocodover, the heart of the city, has been the site of markets, celebrations, and gatherings throughout the centuries. The San Martin Bridge offers breathtaking views of the Tagus River. Getting lost in the narrow streets of the historic center allows you to discover artisan sword shops, hidden courtyards, and corners full of history. Toledo, a must-see destination for lovers of history, art, and culture. And we continue our journey along the coast of the Ligurian Sea, where the mountains surrender to the blue of the Mediterranean. In this place, there are 5 villages that seem to embrace each other, as if they never want to be alone. They are known as Cinque Terre. Monterosso, Vernazza, Corniglia, Manarola, and Rio Maggiore. Small jewels, clinging to the cliffs, with houses of warm colors that seem to greet the sea from above. Each village has its own soul. Monterosso, the only one of the 5 villages with a wide beach, where its visitors can gaze at the sea under the shade of an umbrella. Vernazza, proud of its tiny harbor and its medieval tower that watches over the horizon. Corniglia, perched high up, without direct access to the sea, like a refuge for those seeking calm. Manarola, with its terraces full of vineyards and its sunset stroll. And Rio Maggiore, where the color of the houses competes with that of the sky in the last hours of the day. For centuries, the people of Cinque Terre have cultivated the mountainside, building terraces with patience and stone, where sweet grapes grow that later become wine. Nothing is rushed here. Everything is done by hand, with time, with care. And perhaps that's why, when one walks along these paths between the villages with the sea beside them, it feels like the heart grows still. Meteora, one of the most astonishing places in Greece and perhaps on the entire planet. Meteora means suspended in the air, a perfect name for these colossal rock formations that rise up to 1970 feet above the Thessalian Valley. In the 9th century, the first hermit monks arrived in Meteora, seeking solitude and protection in the caves and crevices of the mountains. During the 14th century, at the height of the Ottoman occupation, the monks began to build monasteries on the summits of the rocks to isolate and protect themselves. The monks used rope ladders and pulleys to hoist supplies and keep themselves safe. In the 20th century, many monasteries were abandoned, but with restoration and the construction of roads and staircases, Meteora became an important tourist and spiritual destination, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Great Meteoron Monastery, or Monastery of the Transfiguration, is the largest and oldest of all the monasteries in Meteora. The Varlam Monastery, famous for the story of how it took the monks over 20 years to haul the construction materials up. The Rusanu Monastery, located on a lower rock, boasts beautiful gardens and a community of nuns who still live there. The Monastery of Saint Nicholas Anapauzes, where we can see the pulley system in operation. The Monastery of the Holy Trinity, one of the most difficult to reach, is famous for appearing in a James Bond film. And finally, the Monastery of St. Stephen, the most accessible, connected by a stone bridge. Meteora is a unique place in the world, where history, faith, and nature come together. Istanbul, the city that bridges two continents in a fusion of history, culture, and modernity. With over 2,500 years of history, this metropolis has been the capital of empires and remains a bridge between the past and the future. Founded as Byzantium in the 7th century BC, this city has been the heart of three great empires: Roman, Byzantine, and Ottoman. Hagia Sophia, with its imposing dome, has been a church, a mosque, and today is a symbol of Istanbul's grandeur. Topkapi Palace, the former residence of the Ottoman sultans, holds centuries of secrets within its opulent halls and gardens. The Blue Mosque is one of the architectural jewels of the city. From the Galata Tower, you can gaze at panoramic views of the Golden Horn and the Bosphorus Strait. The Bosphorus Bridge connects Europe with Asia, reminding us of its pivotal position on the world map. The Grand Bazaar, one of the oldest covered markets in the world, is where merchants offer spices, jewelry, and handicrafts. The food in Istanbul is a unique experience. From the delicious kebabs to the sweet baklava. The city boasts more than 3,000 mosques, each with its own history and beauty. Additionally, it is the home of the Turkish bath. Istanbul is a city where time seems to stand still and move forward simultaneously. Budapest, the majestic capital of Hungary, a city divided by the legendary Danube River and united by its history, architecture, and vibrant cultural life. Known as the Pearl of the Danube, Budapest is a destination that dazzles every visitor. With its majestic architecture, fascinating history, and thermal springs, Budapest is a destination that combines the best of the past and the present. From three cities to one, Budapest was born in 1873 after the union of Buda, Pest, and Óbuda, three cities separated by the Danube River. Budapest has an imperial past. It was one of the capitals of the Austro-Hungarian Empire along with Vienna, which bestowed upon it an architectural splendor that is still preserved today. During World War II, Budapest suffered intense bombings and was the scene of a fierce battle between the Nazis and the Red Army. Later, in 1956, it was the protagonist of the Hungarian Revolution, an uprising against the communist regime. After the fall of communism in 1989, Budapest flourished as a top-tier tourist destination, combining history, culture, and nightlife. There are must-see places to visit in Budapest, such as the Parliament Building, one of the most emblematic buildings in Europe, a masterpiece of the neo-Gothic style situated on the banks of the Danube. From here, you can admire the river that divides the city into Buda and Pest, two halves with unique identities. On Buda Hill stands the imposing Buda Castle, a historic fortress with panoramic views of the Danube and museums that recount the city's history, a palatial complex with centuries of history. Fisherman's Bastion, a spectacular viewpoint with white towers and arches that offer the best views of the city. Its medieval design creates a unique atmosphere to enjoy the tranquil scenery of the city. The Chain Bridge, the most iconic and oldest bridge in Budapest, connecting Buda and Pest since the 19th century. Heroes Square, a monument dedicated to the history of Hungary, surrounded by impressive statues of the country's most important leaders. Budapest, the union of three cities, where history and modernity intertwine to create an unforgettable destination. Deep within the Arctic Circle lies an archipelago that seems straight out of imagination. Welcome to the Lofoten Islands, a corner of breathtaking nature and Viking history. The Lofoten Islands have been inhabited since the time of the Vikings, who left their mark on these lands. At the Lofoter Viking Museum, we can discover how these warriors and traders of the north lived. Today, fishing remains the heart and soul of Lofoten. Codfish dries on large wooden racks. But what truly makes Lofoten special is its nature. Its stunning mountains, like Svalbardgita, and deep fjords, such as Trollfjord, make this place truly magical. In winter, the sky illuminates with the dance of the northern lights, the aurora borealis. In summer, the midnight sun shines relentlessly, allowing for endless days of exploration. For adventurers, Lofoten is a paradise. From hiking to kayaking among fjords, it's an invitation to explore. A destination that combines history, nature, and adventure in one place. This is the Lofoten Islands, a magical corner in the heart of the Arctic. Majorca, the jewel of the Mediterranean, the largest of the Balearic Islands and one of the most spectacular destinations in the Mediterranean. With its combination of idyllic beaches, ancient history, and breathtaking landscapes, this Balearic island is a dream destination for travelers from all over the world. Majorca has been inhabited since prehistoric times. It was conquered by the Romans in the 2nd century BC, who founded the city of Palma and turned it into an important commercial port. In the 10th century, the island was conquered by the Arabs, who left a significant influence on its architecture and agriculture. In 1229, King James I of Aragon reconquered Majorca and incorporated it into the crown of Aragon. For centuries, Majorca was an important trading post in the Mediterranean. In the 20th century, the island became a world-famous tourist destination, attracting millions of visitors each year. In the heart of the island lies Palma de Mallorca, the capital and the cultural and commercial heart of Majorca. Its greatest symbol is the Cathedral of Santa Maria, also known as La Seu, a Gothic masterpiece with spectacular sea views. Its old town, with cobblestone streets and historic courtyards, reflects centuries of history and culture. Belver Castle, located on a hill overlooking Palma, this 14th century circular castle is unique in its style and offers a spectacular panoramic view. Valdemasa, considered the most beautiful village in Majorca, is nestled in the heart of the Sierra da Tramontana, declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site for its stunning cultural landscape. The Caves of Drach, one of the most impressive sites on the island, with enormous rock formations and an underground lake where classical music concerts are held. Majorca is famous for its beaches and coves with crystal-clear waters. From the extensive and serene Es Trenc to the hidden Cala Mondrago and Cala Agulla, the island offers a perfect spot for every traveler. From its history and climate to its beaches and natural landscapes, Majorca is a destination that captivates. Sintra, one of the most enchanting towns in Portugal, with majestic castles and palaces, and forests full of mystery. In Celtic times, Sintra was considered a sacred site. Later, the Romans called it Moon Mountain, due to its mystical atmosphere. During the Arab occupation between the 8th and 12th centuries, Sintra became a strategic fortress. Kings and nobles built palaces and mansions amidst its lush landscape. In 1995, UNESCO declared Sintra a World Heritage Cultural Landscape, highlighting its unique combination of nature and architecture. Peina Palace, one of the most impressive palaces in Europe, with its vibrant colored architecture and its mix of Romantic, Gothic, and Islamic styles. The Moorish Castle, a medieval fortress built in the 9th century by the Muslims, offering spectacular views of the entire region. Quinta de Regalira, one of the most mysterious places in Sintra. Its garden is full of tunnels, towers, and the famous initiation well. The National Palace of Sintra, with its iconic white chimneys, was the residence of the Portuguese royalty for centuries. The Convent of the Capuchos, a 16th-century Franciscan monastery, hidden in the forest and built with a deep connection to nature. Cabo de Roca, located within the Sintra Cascais Natural Park. It is a rocky promontory that rises 460 feet above the Atlantic Ocean, with breathtaking cliffs. Montserrat Palace, an exotic palace with Arab, Gothic, and Indian influences, surrounded by a beautiful botanical garden. Sintra, a place full of castles, secret gardens, and corners straight out of another era. There are cities that don't need to raise their voice to be unforgettable. Lucerne, in the heart of Switzerland, is one of them. Located on the shores of the shimmering Lake Lucerne and sheltered by the majestic peaks of the Alps, Lucerne seems to have been designed by harmony itself. Walking through its old town is like stepping into a living painting. Houses with ancient frescoes, sloping roofs, and cobblestone streets that whisper secrets of centuries past. Its history dates back to the Middle Ages, when it became a key point for alpine trade. But what truly captivates about Lucerne isn't just its past, it's how it preserves it. The water tower stands tall like a stone guardian. It has been a prison, an archive, a watchtower, and today, a symbol of Lucerne's serene resilience. From here, you can take a boat or a mountain train and simply sit, letting the afternoon drift by, with the feeling that nothing else is needed. Lucerne doesn't impress with grandiosity. It does so with its perfect balance between the human and the natural. And when you leave, you do so with a deep peace, like someone who has listened to a soft song that you won't forget. The Cyclades, a group of Greek islands in the Aegean Sea, are a dream destination. The Cyclades owe their name to their circular arrangement around the sacred island of Delos, the mythological birthplace of Apollo and Artemis. This archipelago has been home to ancient civilizations and a witness to the splendor of classical Greece. Each island of the Cyclades has a unique character. Santorini, with its volcanic caldera and unforgettable sunsets, is a quintessential romantic destination. Mykonos, the island of the winds, is famous for its lively nightlife and its iconic windmills. Paros, with its golden sandy beaches and charming villages, offers a balance between tradition and modernity. The Cyclades are a reflection of authentic Greek culture and keep the customs of centuries past alive. From sailing between islands and discovering hidden coves to traversing ancient paths with spectacular views, every corner of this archipelago invites exploration. The crystal-clear waters of the Aegean are ideal for diving, while the golden sandy beaches offer a perfect rest under the sun. The Cyclades are a paradise, a destination that captivates and leaves a lasting impression on all who visit it. Cappadocia, a unique region in the heart of Turkey, famous for its surreal landscapes, underground cities, and the magic of its hot air balloons at sunrise. The iconic rock formations of Cappadocia have been sculpted over millions of years. These structures, known as fairy chimneys, have been used as shelters and dwellings since time immemorial. Cappadocia was a key refuge for ancient civilizations and persecuted Christian communities. Its underground cities could house thousands of people for months. The Gorim Open-Air Museum, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that showcases the cultural and religious richness of the region. Every morning, hundreds of balloons soar through the skies, offering an unparalleled panoramic view of its valleys and rock formations. Cappadocia is a magical destination where history and adventure await you. Krakow, one of the oldest and most beautiful cities in Poland. With over 1,000 years of history, it has witnessed the grandeur of kings, medieval splendor, and key moments in European history. Its impressive medieval architecture, rich history, and vibrant culture make Krakow a captivating destination. Krakow was founded in the 7th century. According to legend, King Krakus slew a fearsome dragon that lived in a cave beneath Wawel Hill. This myth is one of the most famous in Poland. From 1038 to 1596, Krakow was the capital of Poland and the residence of its kings. During this time, many of its most emblematic monuments were built, such as Wawel Castle. During the Nazi occupation, Krakow was used as the administrative headquarters of Nazi Germany in Poland. Just a few kilometers from the city is the Auschwitz concentration camp, a place of remembrance and reflection on the horrors of war. The main market square, Rynek Glony, the largest medieval square in Europe, surrounded by historic buildings such as the Cloth Hall and St. Mary's Basilica. This square also functions as a market square and is very popular with tourists and locals. Kazimierz, the Jewish Quarter, a district full of history, culture, and synagogues that recall the rich Jewish heritage of Krakow. Today, its streets vibrate with history, art, and a lively gastronomic scene. The Wieliczka salt mine, located just 20 minutes from Krakow, these impressive underground mines feature chapels and sculptures carved in salt. They have been declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Krakow is a city that combines history, culture, and legends. Rothenburg ob der Tauber, one of the best-preserved medieval towns and one of the most photographed in Germany. Founded in the Middle Ages, Rothenburg has remained almost intact since the 17th century. Its walls and towers surround a historic center that seems frozen in time. Rothenburg was founded in the 12th century and quickly became a prosperous trading town. During the 30 Years' War in the 17th century, it suffered a siege that nearly destroyed it, but its population managed to preserve much of its architectural legacy. The city has maintained its medieval appearance, becoming a historical gem of Germany. The Market Square, where the majestic town hall stands. Its tower offers impressive panoramic views. The streets of Rothenburg are filled with half-timbered houses, with colorful facades and flowers in the windows. Rothenburg is famous for its Christmas spirit. In December, the Christmas market transforms the city into a true winter wonderland. Rothenburg ob der Tauber is a medieval jewel that enchants every visitor. Its streets, history, and traditions make it a must-see destination when visiting Germany. Kotter, one of the pearls of the Adriatic, is a destination full of medieval architecture, tranquility, and nature, which combine in a spectacular setting. With a history dating back over 2,000 years, Kotter has been influenced by Romans, Venetians, and Ottomans. The Cathedral of St. Tryphon, built in the 12th century, is one of the most important monuments in the city, reflecting the splendor of the Venetian era. Nestled at the end of a bay that many mistake for a fjord, Kotter presents itself as an ancient relic, protected by mountains that drop abruptly into the sea. One of the most fascinating sights in the bay is the island of Our Lady of the Rocks, an artificial island with a 15th century church, built by local sailors in honor of the Virgin Mary. The steps of the city walls lead upwards, towards the fortress of St. John, from where a breathtaking spectacle can be contemplated. Exploring Kotter is an adventure in itself. From boat trips around the bay to hiking trails in Lovesen National Park, there are activities for all tastes. Kotter is not noisy, nor does it boast. It is discreet, melancholic, and serene. A city that invites silence and awe. In Switzerland, majestic snow-capped mountains rise, reflected in crystal-clear lakes and guarded by charming alpine villages. The Swiss Alps, a natural paradise where adventure and tradition meet nature. The Swiss Alps are part of the Great Alpine mountain range that crosses Europe, occupying almost 60% of Switzerland. Since ancient times, these mountains have been home to peoples who have learned to coexist with the extreme nature, developing a unique culture that endures to this day. Here we find legendary peaks such as the Matterhorn, the Jungfrau, and the Eiger, which have challenged mountaineers and explorers for years. The Aletsch Glacier, the largest glacier in the Alps, stretches like a river of ice for over 14 miles. In Zermatt, the iconic Matterhorn towers over one of the most famous ski resorts in the world. Interlaken is the gateway to the Jungfrau region, where the highest railway in Europe takes us up to 11,332 feet. Further on, in Lauterbrunnen, a valley of 72 waterfalls offers a dreamlike landscape. And in Lucerne, Mount Pilatus and Lake Lucerne remind us of the serene beauty of the Alps. In winter, skiing and snowboarding turn St. Moritz and Verbier into snow paradises. In summer, trails wind through mountains and valleys, offering unparalleled views. Panoramic trains like the Glacier Express or the Bernina Express reveal picture postcard landscapes at every turn. Beyond their natural beauty, the Swiss Alps have a rich and vibrant culture. Alpine villages maintain their traditional architecture with wooden chalets and balconies adorned with flowers. From their imposing peaks to their charming villages, the Swiss Alps are a destination that captivates the senses. Milan, a city where history blends with modernity, fashion, and art. Although many know it for its importance in the world of design and fashion, Milan is also a city with a fascinating past and impressive monuments. Milan was founded by the Celts and conquered by the Romans in the 3rd century BC, becoming the capital of the Western Roman Empire in the 4th century. Throughout history, Milan was controlled by different empires and powerful families, from the Visigoths to the Spanish and Austrians. In the 15th century, under the rule of the Sforza family, Milan became a center of art and culture, attracting geniuses like Leonardo da Vinci, who painted the Last Supper in this city. In the 19th century, Milan became the economic capital of Italy thanks to its industrialization and its strategic location. The Duomo of Milan, the imposing Gothic cathedral, is the symbol of the city. Its construction lasted over 600 years, and you can climb to the terrace to enjoy panoramic views. It's one of the most impressive Gothic cathedrals in the world. The Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II, one of the oldest shopping malls in the world, with luxury shops, historic cafes, and an incredible glass roof. It's an emblem of Italian luxury. The Sforza Castle, a medieval fortress that was the residence of the Dukes of Milan and now houses museums and art, including an unfinished work by Michelangelo. Santa Maria del Grazie and the Last Supper. In this convent is Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper, one of the most famous paintings in history. It's a testament to the ingenuity and mastery of the Italian Renaissance. The Teatro alla Scala, one of the most prestigious opera houses in the world, where works by Verdi, Puccini, and other great composers have premiered. Milan is one of the big four of fashion, along with Paris, London, and New York. Milan Fashion Week and events by brands like Gucci, Prada, and Versace are held here. The Milan Cathedral has more than 3,400 statues, making it the church with the most sculptures in the world. Milan is a city of contrasts, where history, art, and fashion blend in a unique way. From its Gothic cathedral to its modern skyscrapers, there is something for everyone, perfectly combining the past, present, and future. Barcelona, one of the most fascinating cities in Europe. With a history spanning millennia, unique architecture, and a vibrant atmosphere, this city attracts many visitors each year. From its medieval legacy to its modernist architecture, every corner has something special. Founded as the Roman colony of Barcino in the 1st century BC, Barcelona has witnessed centuries of history that have left their mark on its streets and buildings. Remains from this era can still be seen in the Gothic Quarter. During the Middle Ages, Barcelona became an important commercial and maritime center of the Mediterranean, belonging to the Crown of Aragon. In the 19th century, the city experienced a cultural and architectural boom with Catalan modernism, represented by geniuses like Antoni Gaudí, who left his mark on the Sagrada Familia, Park Güell, and other iconic monuments. In the 1930s, Barcelona was a Republican stronghold during the Spanish Civil War and suffered bombings. After the Franco dictatorship, the city recovered its cultural identity and autonomy. The 1992 Olympics transformed Barcelona into a modern metropolis open to the world, with a spectacular urban renovation. Let's begin with the iconic places of Barcelona. The main one is undoubtedly the Sagrada Familia, Gaudí's masterpiece and the most visited monument in Spain. Still under construction, it is expected to be completed in 2026. Park Güell, a park full of organic shapes, colorful mosaics, and architecture inspired by nature, designed by Gaudí. La Rambla, the most famous promenade in Barcelona, full of street artists, cafes, and the historic La Boqueria market. The Gothic Quarter, the medieval heart of the city, with its narrow streets, charming squares, and the impressive Barcelona Cathedral. Casa Batlló, an architectural jewel by Gaudí on Passeig de Gràcia, with a surreal facade and unique design. Montjuïc, a hill with incredible views, where Montjuïc Castle, the National Art Museum of Catalonia, and the Magic Fountain are located. Barceloneta Beach is a perfect place to enjoy the Mediterranean Sea and the relaxed atmosphere of the city. Tibidabo, the mountain with the best viewpoint in Barcelona and a century-old amusement park. Did you know that Barcelona could have had the Eiffel Tower? Gustave Eiffel proposed building his tower in Barcelona, but the city rejected the project, considering it una aesthetic. Barcelona is a city that captivates with its art, its history, and its lifestyle. From its iconic architecture to its sunny beaches, this destination is one of the most fascinating and visited in Europe. Iceland, known as the land of ice and fire. A place where volcanoes roar beneath glaciers and where nature displays its power in every corner. Geysers, like the famous Stråkar, shoot boiling water over 20 meters high, a natural spectacle for which many visitors wait for hours. Iceland is home to some of the largest glaciers in Europe, such as Vatnajökull, an ice giant that covers almost 8% of the country. When night falls, magic takes over the sky. The northern lights, the aurora borealis, illuminate the horizon with green and violet colors, a natural spectacle that leaves you speechless. Iceland is not only a country of extremes but also of wild and pure nature. Its waterfalls, like Gullfoss and Seljalandsfoss, seem straight out of a fairy tale. In winter, you can explore ice caves with mesmerizing blue tones, an experience that seems out of this world. Iceland, the land of ice and fire. Bucharest, the vibrant capital of Romania, often called the Paris of the East, surprises with its impressive palaces, wide avenues, and a fascinating history. Bucharest was first mentioned in historical documents in 1459, during the reign of Vlad the Impaler, the ruler who inspired the legend of Dracula. Over the centuries, the city became the political and economic center of Wallachia and, later, of all of Romania. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Bucharest experienced a period of splendor with the construction of grand avenues, palaces, and monuments inspired by Paris, earning it the nickname, the Paris of the East. Then came communism and with it, urban transformation. During the communist regime of Nicolae Ceausescu, Bucharest underwent major changes. Huge government buildings, such as the Palace of the Parliament, were built, but entire historic neighborhoods were also demolished. After the 1989 revolution and the fall of communism, the city has experienced a cultural and economic renaissance, becoming a vibrant and modern capital. An iconic place in Bucharest is the Palace of the Parliament, one of the largest administrative buildings in the world, with over 1,000 rooms. It was built by Ceausescu and is a symbol of Romania's power and recent history. Bucharest also has its own Arc de Triomphe. Inspired by the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, this monument commemorates Romania's independence and offers panoramic views from its upper platform. The Carroll University, founded in 1864 by King Carroll, is one of the most prestigious educational institutions in the country. Its central library is a beautiful building that reflects the elegance of the Belle Époque. The Bucharest Patriarchal Cathedral, the seat of the Romanian Orthodox Church, was built in the 17th century. It is an important religious center and an impressive example of Orthodox architecture. The Cathedral of the Nation's Salvation, another Orthodox church, is the largest in Romania and one of the largest in the world. Its construction was completed in 2018, and it has become a new symbol of the city. The CEC Palace, Palatal CEC. A majestic neoclassical building that has been a financial symbol of Bucharest since its construction in the late 19th century. The Romanian Railways Museum, Muzeul Căilor Ferate Romane. A paradise for railway enthusiasts, where you can see old locomotives and learn about the railway history of Romania. Did you know that Romanian is one of the languages closest to Latin? Romanian is a Romance language and has many similarities with Spanish, Italian, and French. Bucharest is a city full of history, contrasts, and beauty. From its communist past to its modern architecture, there is much to discover. Monaco, the second smallest country in the world, but also one of the most luxurious and fascinating. Famous for its casinos, its Formula One Grand Prix, and the royal family, this small principality on the French Riviera is a destination that combines history, glamour, and stunning landscapes. Monaco was founded in 1297 when Francesco Grimaldi, disguised as a monk, seized control of the fortress that we know today as the Prince's Palace. Since then, the Grimaldi family has ruled the country almost without interruption. Over the centuries, Monaco was under the influence of France and Spain, but in 1861 it gained its full independence, thanks to a treaty with France. In the late 19th century, Monaco transformed into a luxury destination, thanks to the opening of the Monte Carlo casino and the development of tourism by the aristocracy. In 1929, the first Monaco Grand Prix was held, which today is one of the most prestigious events in motorsport. Since then, the Principality has continued to modernize without losing its essence of exclusivity and glamour. Monaco does not levy income tax, making it a magnet for millionaires and celebrities. In Monaco, there are more luxury cars per capita than in almost any other place in the world. And the square meter in Monaco is one of the most expensive on the planet, with prices that can exceed 50,000 euros per square meter. Monaco is synonymous with luxury, history, and beauty. Whether it's for its Grand Prix, its casino, or its connection to royalty, this small city-state continues to fascinate the world. Lapland, a unique destination. From its snowy forests to the spectacle of the Northern Lights, this region of Finland is home to the last great wilderness in Europe. The Northern Lights, also known as the Aurora Borealis. These fascinating undulations of green, purple, and blue light up the dark skies from autumn to spring, offering an unforgettable spectacle for those who visit the region. Lapland is a haven for wildlife. Here inhabit species adapted to the extreme cold, such as reindeer, fundamental to Lapland's culture, majestic moose, and agile Arctic foxes. For adventure lovers, husky sledding is an essential experience, in the traditional style of Arctic explorers. Lapland is world-renowned as the land of Santa Claus. Deep within the Arctic Circle lies Santa Claus Village in Rovaniemi, a place where Christmas magic is alive all year round. Here, visitors can meet Santa Claus in his office, tour his workshop, and send letters from the famous Santa Claus main post office. A magical place that makes young and old feel the true spirit of Christmas. For travelers, Lapland offers unique experiences. Sleeping in a glass igloo with views of the starry sky, exploring the frozen forests on snowmobiles, or immersing oneself in a Finnish sauna and then cooling off in the snow. Lapland is a destination that awakens the imagination and the adventurous spirit, offering a unique connection with nature and Arctic culture. They say that on the Amalfi Coast, time doesn't run. It glides, like a calm boat under the sun. And Positano, that small village clinging to the cliffs of southern Italy, feels more like a sigh than a place. With its pastel-colored houses cascading down towards the Tyrrhenian Sea, Positano is a postcard that came to life. From a distance, it looks hand-painted, and as you get closer, you discover that every corner holds a story. The streets are staircases. Staircases that go up and down, among bougainvillea, balconies with flower pots, and small art workshops. The terraced slopes and small local craft shops offer unique products such as handmade sandals, decorative ceramics, and finely crafted textiles. The panoramic views are breathtaking, especially at sunset, when the colors of the sky and the sea merge in an unforgettable spectacle. UNESCO's recognition has been a key factor in positioning Positano as one of the most coveted tourist destinations in the world. There is no rush here. Everything invites you to pause. A fresh lemonade under an umbrella, the aroma of baked bread, the murmur of the sea that seeps through the alleyways. The Pebble Beach waits peacefully, with colorful boats and tourists mingling with locals in a timeless dance. Daily, Positano receives an average of 12,000 visitors, a remarkable figure considering its resident population is only 3,860 inhabitants. There are places you visit and others you feel. Positano is felt, because here, you don't just see beauty, you breathe peace. Athens, the capital of Greece and one of the oldest cities in the world, with over 3,400 years of history. This vibrant metropolis, the cradle of democracy, philosophy, and the arts, combines the grandeur of its past with the modernity of a European capital. According to mythology, Athens was founded by the mythical king Cecrops and named in honor of the goddess Athena, who defeated Poseidon in a dispute for the city. In the 5th century BC, under the leadership of Pericles, Athens experienced its golden age. Temples such as the Parthenon were built, and philosophers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle revolutionized human thought, laying the foundations of Western civilization. Athens went through various dominations. It was part of the Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, and the Ottoman Empire. In 1834, after the independence of Greece, Athens was proclaimed the capital of the country. The Acropolis, the most emblematic symbol of the city, a sacred hill that houses temples dedicated to the Greek gods, including the majestic Parthenon, dedicated to Athena. The ancient Agora, the political, commercial, and social center of ancient Athens, where philosophers like Socrates debated their ideas. Here are the Temple of Hephaestus and the Stoa of Attalos. The Temple of Olympian Zeus, one of the largest temples in the ancient world, with imposing Corinthian columns. Mount Lycabettus, the highest point in Athens, with breathtaking panoramic views of the city and the Aegean Sea. The Plaka and Anaphiotica neighborhoods, the most picturesque district of Athens, with narrow streets, colorful houses, balconies with flowers, and an atmosphere full of history. Syntagma Square and the Parliament. Here you can see the famous changing of the guard of the Evzones, the soldiers in their traditional attire. The Acropolis Museum, one of the best museums in the world, with impressive sculptures and artifacts from ancient Greece. The Panathenaic Stadium, the only stadium in the world made entirely of marble, was the site of the first modern Olympic Games in 1896. Did you know that theater was born in Athens? The Greeks staged tragedies and comedies in spaces like the Theater of Dionysus. Two of its main works are Oedipus Rex, tragedy, and the Acharnians, comedy. Athens has more than 3,400 years of continuous history, one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities on the planet. Athens is a journey through time, a city that intertwines the past and the present of a civilization, offering a unique experience to those who visit it. Dubrovnik, a magical city on the shores of the Adriatic Sea, with its impressive walled old town and fascinating history. Founded in the 7th century, Dubrovnik grew to become a powerful maritime republic, known as the Republic of Ragusa. Between the 14th and 19th centuries, Dubrovnik was an independent republic, rivaling Venice in trade and navigation. It was one of the first republics to abolish slavery in 1416. In the 1990s, during the dissolution of Yugoslavia, Dubrovnik was attacked and suffered severe damage, but it has been carefully restored and today remains a renowned tourist destination. In 1979, UNESCO declared the old town of Dubrovnik a World Heritage Site. The imposing walls of Dubrovnik, built between the 13th and 16th centuries, completely surround the ancient city. From the top, they offer spectacular views of the Adriatic and a journey through the city's history. The heart of Dubrovnik is the Straton, a paved pedestrian street where some of the most iconic buildings are located. Known as the Gibraltar of Dubrovnik, the Lovrijenac fortress stands on a 121-foot-high cliff. This fortress protected the city from invaders and offers spectacular views. The Cathedral of the Assumption, according to legend, was financed by King Richard the Lionheart after surviving a shipwreck near Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik has been the setting for major film productions, notably as the City of Kings Landing in the famous series Game of Thrones. Its markets, gastronomy, and traditions reflect the coastal life of a city that has prospered thanks to maritime trade. Dubrovnik is a destination that captivates with its history, landscapes, and its walls. Paris, the iconic city of lights. A place where history, culture, and art intertwine in every corner. From its majestic monuments to its charming streets. Designed by Gustave Eiffel and inaugurated in 1889, the Eiffel Tower is the emblem of Paris. Standing at 1,082 feet tall, it offers one of the most breathtaking views of the city. By day, its iron structure stands out against the Parisian sky, and by night, its golden illumination transforms it into an unforgettable spectacle. Paris is a paradise for art lovers. The Louvre Museum, the most visited in the world, houses masterpieces such as the Mona Lisa and the Venus de Milo. On the other hand, the Montmartre neighborhood has been the cradle of artists such as Picasso and Van Gogh. Its cobblestone streets, bohemian cafes, and the majestic Sacré-Cœur Basilica offer a unique atmosphere that continues to inspire creators from all over the world. Built in the 12th century, Notre Dame Cathedral is a jewel of French Gothic architecture. Famous for its gargoyles and its rose window, it has witnessed countless historical events. Although the 2019 fire damaged part of its structure, its restoration is underway, keeping alive the hope of seeing it shine again. Paris and its surroundings are home to some of the most impressive palaces in the world. The Palace of Versailles, the former residence of the kings of France, dazzles with its hall of mirrors and its vast gardens. The Louvre Palace, before becoming a museum, was a royal residence with centuries of history. For its part, the Luxembourg Palace, seat of the French Senate, is an elegant example of the classical architecture that embellishes the city. Strolling down the Champs-Élysées is like immersing yourself in the heart of Paris. This avenue, considered one of the most beautiful in the world, connects the Place de la Concorde with the imposing Arc de Triomphe. In the Place de la Concorde stands the Luxor obelisk, an Egyptian monument over 3,000 years old, a gift from Egypt to France in the 19th century. Its presence marks one of the key points of the city and bears witness to the history of France. The avenues that converge at the Arc de Triomphe form a radial design inspired by Napoleon's urban planning, ensuring that this monument becomes a visible landmark from different parts of the city. Paris was the epicenter of the French Revolution, one of the most important events in modern history. In 1789, the storming of the Bastille prison symbolized the beginning of the popular uprising against the monarchy. Today, the Place de la Bastille marks the site where the former fortress stood, and although the prison was destroyed, it remains a symbol of the struggle for freedom and human rights. The Seine River is the soul of Paris. Its banks are full of history and culture, with iconic bridges. A boat trip along the Seine allows you to admire the city from a different perspective, with monuments reflected in its waters, creating a magical atmosphere. Paris is a city that captivates with its elegance, its art, and its history. Bruges, the medieval gem of Belgium and one of the most enchanting cities in Europe. Known for its canals, historic buildings, and magical atmosphere, it is an unforgettable destination. Bruges has medieval origins. It was founded in the 9th century as a Viking settlement and quickly grew thanks to its port and trade. During the Middle Ages, Bruges experienced its golden age. From the 13th to the 15th centuries, it became one of the richest cities in Europe, thanks to its thriving wool and textile trade. It was a key financial center and home to the first modern stock exchange. Then came its decline and the freeze in time. At the end of the 15th century, the port of Bruges began to lose importance due to the silting of its canals, which led to the city's economic decline. However, this allowed its medieval architecture to be preserved intact. Thanks to the boom and the revival of tourism in Europe in the 19th century, Bruges was privileged by its rediscovery as a tourist destination, which brought new life to the city. Today, it is one of the most visited cities in Europe and is protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. In the main market square, located in the heart of Bruges and surrounded by houses with stepped gables and restaurants with terraces, stands the Belfry of Bruges, one of the city's symbols at 272 feet high with 366 steps. The Lake of Love, Minnewater, a romantic corner with a beautiful lake surrounded by trees and swans, is a place where its inhabitants often spend a contemplative moment with nature. Taking a boat trip along the canals is one of the best ways to explore the city and enjoy its picturesque views. The Kruisvest windmill is one of the few remaining windmills in the city. From there, panoramic views of Bruges are offered. Did you know that the clocks in the towers never coincide? The clocks in different towers of Bruges often show different times. Bruges has a rather curious legend. The legend says that the swans in Bruges were a punishment imposed on the city in the 15th century, and since then they have been a symbol of the city. Bruges is a city that seems taken from a Grimm Brothers fairy tale. Its history, its architecture, and its atmosphere make it a destination for lovers of culture and extreme tranquility. Cyprus, the Mediterranean island full of history, mythology, and stunning landscapes. Situated at the crossroads between Europe, Asia, and Africa, Cyprus has been home to great civilizations and is famous for its beaches, its culture, and its archaeological legacy. Cyprus is the cradle of ancient civilizations. It has been inhabited for over 10,000 years and has been influenced by Greeks, Phoenicians, Romans, Byzantines, and Ottomans. According to legend, the goddess of love and beauty, Aphrodite, was born from the foam of the sea in Cyprus, near Aphrodite's rock in Paphos. Throughout its history, Cyprus has been ruled by different empires, including the Egyptian, Persian, Roman, and Byzantine. In the Middle Ages, it was ruled by the Crusaders and the Republic of Venice, before falling into the hands of the Ottoman Empire in 1571. In 1878, the United Kingdom took control of the island, which remained a British colony until its independence in 1960. Since 1974, the island has been divided into two parts: the Republic of Cyprus in the south, with a Greek Cypriot majority, and the self-proclaimed Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, recognized only by Turkey. Nicosia, the capital of Cyprus, is the only divided capital in the world, with a Greek side and a Turkish side. In its old town, the Famagusta Gate and the Cathedral of St. Barnabas and the Archbishop's Palace stand out. Paphos, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is home to impressive Roman ruins and the famous Aphrodite's Rock, where, according to mythology, the goddess was born. The ruins of Kourion, one of the most important ancient city-states in Cyprus, with an impressive Roman theater overlooking the sea. Colossi Castle, a medieval fortress built by the Knights of the Order of St. John in the 13th century. The Troodos Mountains and the Byzantine monasteries. In these mountains are ancient Orthodox monasteries with spectacular frescoes, such as the Kikos Monastery. This is Famagusta and Varosha, the ghost town. Famagusta was a thriving tourist city until 1974, when it was abandoned after the Turkish invasion. Today, Varosha remains frozen in time, with hotels and buildings in ruins. Cyprus is one of the sunniest countries in Europe. This country enjoys more than 300 days of sunshine a year, making it a perfect destination throughout the year. Cyprus is an island that combines mythology and history, thanks to its identity forged by different empires. Its spectacular beaches and a fascinating culture give tourism another dimension. From its ancient ruins to its modern cities, it is a destination full of surprises. In northern Italy, where the mountains are reflected in the deep waters of an ancient lake, there rests Varenna, between stone and water. Founded in the 8th century by fishermen, Varenna was for centuries a refuge for those seeking peace, and perhaps also solace. Today, it remains just that, a refuge. Over the centuries, Varenna prospered thanks to trade and its strategic location on Lake Como. Unlike other towns in the area, it managed to maintain its traditional essence without losing its importance. From the pier, you can see the boats patiently moored, floating gently, while the church bells announce that time has not stopped. It just walks slower. Its ochre and terracotta houses timidly overlook the lake, bordering the shore along the so-called Walk of Love, a narrow and romantic path that winds between flowers and balconies. High above, the Castello di Vizio has watched for centuries, with its solitary tower and its stories of ancient Lombard lords. The Chiesa di San Giorgio, the main church of Verona, houses impressive medieval frescoes. In the gardens of Villa Monastero, the calm is almost sacred: slender cypresses, marble staircases, and an open view of the blue mirror of Lake Como. Often, older travelers sit facing the water, saying nothing. And here, there is no need to talk much. Looking is enough. Copenhagen, the jewel of Denmark, and according to several surveys, one of the happiest cities in the world. With its blend of history, modernity, and sustainability, this Scandinavian capital invites us to explore its streets full of culture and charm. Founded in the 10th century as a Viking settlement, Copenhagen grew to become the capital of Denmark in the 15th century. It has witnessed great historical events and preserves its legacy in monuments such as Christiansborg Palace, seat of the Danish Parliament. During World War II, Denmark was occupied by Nazi Germany, but Copenhagen played a key role in the resistance. In 1943, the Danes helped more than 7,000 Jews escape to Sweden in one of the largest rescue operations of the war. One of the most emblematic places in Copenhagen is Nyhavn, a historic harbor full of life and color. A place of yesteryear, home to sailors and writers like Hans Christian Andersen, today it is a vibrant destination with restaurants and cafes along the canal. Tivoli Gardens, inaugurated in 1843, is one of the oldest amusement parks in the world and remains a magical place for locals and tourists alike. Its gardens, roller coasters, and shows capture the cozy and fun spirit of the city. Inspired by Hans Christian Andersen's fairy tale, the statue of the Little Mermaid is one of Copenhagen's most famous icons. Although small in size, its history and symbolism make it an essential stop. Amalienborg Palace, the official residence of the Danish royal family. Just like in London, you can see the changing of the guard every day at noon. Copenhagen is one of the most sustainable cities in the world. With more bicycles than cars and a commitment to renewable energy, the Danish capital is on track to become a carbon-neutral city this year, 2025. Did you know that Copenhagen has one of the oldest cafes in Europe? It's Café Europa, an iconic place where locals enjoy traditional Danish coffee and delicious pastries. From its charming streets to its vision for the future, Copenhagen is a city with a strong commitment to the environment, which helps to enchant every visitor. Welcome to Zandschans, a magical corner of the Netherlands where history comes to life. Here, among centuries-old windmills, traditional wooden houses, and idyllic landscapes, it is possible to travel to the past and experience the authentic Dutch essence. In the 17th century, Zandschans was one of the first industrial regions in Europe, with hundreds of windmills in operation. These windmills were used to saw wood, grind spices, manufacture paint, and produce oil. Today, some of these impressive windmills are still active and can be visited to learn about their fascinating operation. The windmills are the soul of Zandschans. De Cat is one of the few working paint mills in the world, where pigments are still produced artisanally. On the other hand, Het Jonge Shop is a wood sawmill that continues to operate with traditional techniques, allowing visitors to see how the power of the wind drives production. In Zandschans, Dutch traditions are more alive than ever. In the Clog Factory, or klumpen in Dutch, artisans show how these iconic wooden shoes are made, which are still used in rural areas today. The landscape of Zandschans is a living postcard of the Netherlands. Its canals reflect the beauty of the windmills and green houses, while the fields are full of life with waterfowl and pastures that recall the rural essence of the region. Visitors can explore the area on foot or by bicycle, following its picturesque paths and discovering corners full of history. Zandschans is much more than a tourist destination. It is a journey back in time to the Holland of the 17th century, where tradition and history are kept alive. A perfect place to disconnect and marvel at the ingenuity and beauty of the past. Alberobello, a small town in southern Italy, famous for its iconic white stone houses with conical roofs, known as trulli. The trulli are unique constructions that date back to the 14th century. Their origin is linked to an ingenious trick. The peasants built them without using cement, so they could be easily dismantled in case of tax inspections, thus avoiding paying taxes to the Kingdom of Naples. For centuries, Alberobello was just a group of scattered houses, but in 1797, the town was granted its administrative independence, marking its growth and development. In 1996, UNESCO declared Alberobello a World Heritage Site for its architectural and cultural value. Many trulli have symbols painted on their stone roofs. These can represent religious or pagan signs. The old town of Alberobello is completely pedestrianized. Despite its ancient appearance, many of these houses are adapted with modern comforts. Alberobello is a magical destination where history, architecture, and tradition merge in a fairy tale setting. Amsterdam, the capital of the Netherlands and one of the most vibrant and picturesque cities in Europe. With its iconic canals, rich history, and cosmopolitan atmosphere, Amsterdam is a destination that has it all. Here, modernity and tradition coexist harmoniously. Amsterdam began as a small fishing village in the 12th century, located on the banks of the Amstel River. Its name comes from Amsterdam, which means dam on the Amstel River. In the 17th century, Amsterdam became one of the richest and most powerful cities in the world, thanks to trade and navigation. The Dutch East India Company dominated global commerce, and the city grew with its famous canals and houses of unique architecture. The city suffered during World War II, but in the second half of the 20th century, it transformed into a modern and culturally diverse city, becoming a symbol of tolerance and progress. Amsterdam has more than 100 kilometers of canals, with over 1,500 bridges and thousands of houseboats. Declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, these waterways not only offer a picturesque view but have also been fundamental to the city's economy and transportation for centuries. The Rijksmuseum is the most important museum in the Netherlands, with masterpieces by Rembrandt, Vermeer, and Van Gogh, receiving millions of visitors throughout the year. Vincent van Gogh is one of the most misunderstood painters of his time, but later became one of the most famous and influential in the history of Western art. His work is characterized by its vivid colors, expressive brushstrokes, and a profound emotional charge. In Amsterdam, the largest collection of his works is found in a museum that bears his name. Amsterdam is one of the most bicycle-friendly cities in the world. With more than 800,000 bicycles, this means of transport is part of the local lifestyle and a testament to the city's commitment to sustainability. Amsterdam is a city that blends history, modernity, and a unique atmosphere. A destination where tradition and innovation intertwine in every corner, offering an unforgettable experience. Lisbon, the vibrant capital of Portugal. A city with a fascinating history, streets full of color, and impressive viewpoints. Lisbon is one of the oldest cities in Europe, with roots dating back to the Phoenicians. Later, the Romans turned it into an important port city, known as Olisipo. For over 400 years, Lisbon was under Muslim rule, leaving its mark on its architecture, culture, and even its language. In 1147, Christians led by King Afonso Henriques reconquered it. In the 15th and 16th centuries, Lisbon became one of the richest cities in the world, thanks to Portuguese explorers like Vasco da Gama, who opened trade routes to Africa, India, and Brazil. St. George's Castle, located atop one of Lisbon's hills, offers spectacular views of the city. Its medieval walls transport us to the time of the Christian reconquest. The Jerónimos Monastery, an impressive and majestic monastery in Manueline style, was built in the 16th century to celebrate the success of Portuguese explorations. The remains of Vasco da Gama rest here. The Belém Tower, another of Lisbon's many iconic monuments. This fortified tower protected the entrance to the port and is a symbol of Portugal's maritime past. Commerce Square, Praça do Comércio, a huge and elegant space by the Tagus River, where the royal palace was once located. Today, it is a perfect place to enjoy the architecture and the view of the river. The Santa Justa lift, a wrought iron elevator from the early 20th century that connects Baixa with the Barro Alto. From the top, the city views are impressive. The iconic yellow tram, known as Tram 28, travels through Lisbon's most historic neighborhoods, including Alfama and Graça. It is one of the best ways to explore the city. Lisbon is also modern. The Park of Nations, Parque das Nações, an area of Lisbon with futuristic architecture, where the oceanarium and the cable car offer some of the best panoramic views of the river. The 25 de Abril Bridge, a red suspension bridge similar to the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, is one of Lisbon's symbols and connects the city with the Almada region. The 25 de Abril Bridge resembles the Golden Gate because it was built by the same company that designed the San Francisco Bridge. Did you know that Lisbon is older than Rome? Founded over 3,000 years ago, Lisbon is one of the oldest capitals in Europe, even older than Rome and London. Like Rome, Lisbon is built on 7 hills, which gives it its characteristic landscape with spectacular viewpoints. Lisbon is a city full of history, beauty, and tradition. From its maritime past to its vibrant modern life, it is a destination that enchants anyone who visits it. Stockholm, the capital of Sweden, is a unique city built on 14 islands connected by more than 50 bridges. Known as the Venice of the North, it combines modernity, history, and innovation in a perfect balance. Founded in the 13th century, Stockholm has been the heart of Sweden for centuries. The Old Town, Gamla Stan, is a labyrinth of cobblestone streets, brightly colored buildings, and corners full of history. Here you will find the Royal Palace, one of the official residences of the Swedish monarchy, with over 600 rooms and an impressive art collection. Another icon of the city is Stockholm City Hall, the venue for the Nobel Prize banquets. Its tower offers a spectacular panoramic view of the city. Stockholm is a paradise for culture lovers. The Vasa Museum houses a 17th-century warship that sank on its maiden voyage and was salvaged almost intact centuries later. The city is also home to the impressive Stockholm Public Library, a temple of knowledge with its iconic circular hall and thousands of volumes on its shelves. Despite being a metropolis, Stockholm is surrounded by nature. Its archipelago has more than 30,000 islands, ideal for exploring by boat. Within the city, Djurgården is a green oasis where you can hike, bike, or simply relax by the water. In winter, the lakes and parks transform into ice skating rinks, offering a magical experience in the heart of the city. The Stockholm Metro is known as the longest art gallery in the world, with stations decorated with impressive murals and sculptures. The Södermalm district is the epicenter of creativity, with design shops, alternative cafes, and a vibrant nightlife. Stockholm is a city where history meets modernity, and nature coexists with urban life. A fascinating destination that invites exploration again and again. Florence, the jewel of Tuscany, is a city that breathes art, history, and culture in every corner. The birthplace of the Renaissance and home to great geniuses such as Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, its streets and squares transport us to an era of splendor and creativity. From its rise in the Middle Ages to its crucial role in the Renaissance, Florence has been a center of artistic and cultural innovation. The Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, with its imposing dome designed by Brunelleschi, is a symbol of the city's grandeur. The Ponte Vecchio, the oldest bridge in Florence, has witnessed trade and life throughout the centuries. While the Piazza della Signoria, with the majestic Palazzo Vecchio, has been the epicenter of Florentine power and politics. Florence is an open-air museum. In the Uffizi Gallery, we find some of the most iconic works of the Renaissance, such as Botticelli's The Birth of Venus. Michelangelo's David, located in the Accademia Gallery, is one of the most admired sculptures in the world. Having a coffee in Piazza del Duomo and observing the comings and goings of people is one of the best ways to immerse yourself in Florentine life. Florentine cuisine is a delight for the senses. The bistecca alla fiorentina, a thick and juicy T-bone steak, is a must-try dish. Artisanal gelato, considered the best in Italy, also stands out. Florence is a place where art, history, and a passion for beauty intertwine in every street and square. A city that continues to inspire those who visit it, just as it did with the great masters of the Renaissance. London, the capital of the United Kingdom, is a city where the past and the present meet in every corner. With over 2,000 years of history, this place has witnessed empires, revolutions, and technological advancements. London was born as Londinium, a Roman city on the banks of the River Thames. Since then, it has been the heart of kingdoms and a symbol of power. Places like the Tower of London have witnessed coronations, betrayals, and legends that still resonate within its walls. The Palace of Westminster, seat of Parliament, and its iconic Big Ben Tower have witnessed centuries of British politics and history. At Buckingham Palace, the British royalty maintains its presence with the traditional changing of the guard ceremony. Every corner of London has an iconic symbol. Tower Bridge, with its majestic architecture, remains one of the most recognizable bridges in the world. St. Paul's Cathedral dominates the skyline with its imposing dome, while Piccadilly Circus shows us the most vibrant and modern side of the city, with its neon lights and cosmopolitan atmosphere. Despite its dynamism, London also offers spaces of tranquility. Hyde Park is a refuge in the middle of the city, perfect for walks and picnics. Regent's Park houses the London Zoo, and Kew Gardens are a botanical paradise with species from all over the world. Historic pubs are part of the soul of the city, where a pint of beer is the best way to immerse yourself in the local culture. The London Underground, the oldest in the world, has been operating since 1863. Along with the iconic red double-decker buses and black cabs, they form part of the city's identity. A curious fact: London has more than 8 million trees, making it one of the greenest cities in the world. London is history, culture, modernity, and diversity in one place. A city that never sleeps, but always has something new to discover. Berlin, a city full of history, culture, and contrasts. From its imperial past to the Cold War, Berlin has witnessed events that have changed the world. The capital of Germany, the epicenter of historical events, has become a cultural, technological, and artistic reference point in Europe. Berlin was founded in the 13th century and eventually became the capital of the Kingdom of Prussia. In the 19th century, with the unification of Germany in 1871, it consolidated itself as a center of European power. Since its founding, Berlin has witnessed some of the most momentous events in European history. During World War II, Berlin was the epicenter of the Nazi regime and suffered devastating bombings. In 1945, at the end of the war, the city was divided into 4 sectors controlled by the US, the UK, France, and the Soviet Union. In 1961, the German Democratic Republic, GDR, built the Berlin Wall, separating the city into 2: capitalist West Berlin and communist East Berlin. On November 9, 1989, the Berlin Wall fell, marking the beginning of the reunification of Germany. Since then, Berlin has been reborn as a modern, multicultural, and vibrant city. Today, Berlin is one of the most vibrant cities in Europe, with a unique blend of history, art, technology, and cultural diversity. The Brandenburg Gate, one of the most famous symbols of Berlin and Germany. During the Cold War, it stood in a privileged no-man's land between East and West Berlin. The longest remaining section of the Berlin Wall has become an open-air art gallery with iconic murals. These fragments serve as a reminder of the struggle for freedom and German unity. The Reichstag, or German Parliament, a historic building with a glass dome offering panoramic views of the city. Its glass dome allows visitors to observe parliamentary sessions, symbolizing political transparency. Berlin has a complex with 5 world-class museums, including the Pergamon Museum and the German Historical Museum. It houses invaluable collections, such as the Pergamon altar and the bust of Nefertiti. This area is known as Museum Island. Alexanderplatz and the TV Tower are some of Berlin's most emblematic points. The square, surrounded by shops, restaurants, cinemas, and hotels, is home to several iconic monuments, including the TV Tower, which was built between 1965 and 1969. The TV Tower was designed as a symbol of the power and progress of the communist regime. At 1,207 feet tall, it is the tallest structure in Germany and one of the tallest publicly accessible buildings in Europe. The Berlin U-Bahn operates 24 hours on weekends and is one of the most extensive in Europe. Berlin is a city where the past and the future meet. From its history marked by wars and divisions to its vibrant and multicultural present, this capital has something for everyone. A city that surprises with its dynamism and its unparalleled culture. Genoa, the jewel of the Mediterranean, a city that combines history, culture, and maritime beauty. Known as La Superba, for its glorious past as one of Italy's most powerful maritime republics, Genoa hides secrets in every corner. Genoa has been an important port since Roman times, but it reached its peak in the Middle Ages when it became one of Italy's four great maritime republics, along with Venice, Pisa, and Amalfi. During the 12th and 13th centuries, Genoa became a key center of Mediterranean trade, rivaling Venice and establishing colonies in the Black Sea and the Levant. Its fleet dominated the trade of spices, silk, and slaves. Genoa is the birthplace of Christopher Columbus, the navigator who changed the history of the world in 1492. Although he made his voyage in the service of Spain, his legacy lives on in Genoa, where there is a house said to have been his home. In the 16th and 17th centuries, the city experienced great expansion, with noble families building majestic palaces that are now part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. After centuries of independence, Genoa became part of the Kingdom of Sardinia in the 19th century and, finally, of Italy in 1861. Its port remained one of the most important in Europe. The Porto Antico, restored by architect Renzo Piano, is now a vibrant cultural center with museums, restaurants, and the famous Genoa Aquarium, one of the largest in Europe. The Cathedral of San Lorenzo, an impressive Gothic church with a black and white marble facade. Inside, there is a World War II bomb that never exploded. The Palazzi dei Rolli, a group of Renaissance and Baroque palaces that were the residences of Genoa's wealthiest families. Today, some are museums, and others remain private residences. A must-visit site is Via Garibaldi, one of Genoa's most elegant and famous streets, surrounded by imposing palaces and art galleries. The Lighthouse of Genoa, La Lanterna, is one of the oldest lighthouses in the world and is still in operation. Its light has guided navigators since the 12th century. Did you know that the city's symbol inspired the flag of England? The flag of Genoa, with the red cross of St. George on a white background, was adopted by the English in medieval times to protect their ships in the Mediterranean. A rich maritime history. The port of Genoa has been active for over 2,500 years and remains one of the most important in the Mediterranean. Genoa, besides being the birthplace of Christopher Columbus, is also the birthplace of the most virtuous violinist in history. Niccolò Paganini was born here in 1782, and his violin, the famous Il Canone, is preserved in the city. Genoa is a city full of history, with a glorious past and a vibrant present. From its legendary port to its Renaissance palaces and its lively streets, it is a destination that surprises every visitor. Madrid, the capital of Spain, is a city full of history, culture, and life. From majestic palaces to vibrant neighborhoods and great museums, Madrid has something for everyone. Although Madrid is today the heart of Spain, its history begins in the 9th century when the Muslims built a fortress in the area where the royal palace stands today. In 1561, King Philip II moved the court from Toledo to Madrid, making it the capital of the Spanish Empire. Since then, the city has grown and evolved into one of the great metropolises of Europe. During the 16th and 17th centuries, Madrid was the epicenter of art and literature in Spain, with figures such as Miguel de Cervantes, Diego Velázquez, and Francisco de Quevedo. Madrid suffered intense bombings during the Civil War between 1936 and 1939, being one of the last cities to fall into Franco's hands. This era was catastrophic for the entire European continent. Puerta del Sol, the most famous point in Madrid, where Kilometer Zero of Spain's radial roads and the iconic bear and the strawberry tree statue are located. Plaza Mayor is one of the most beautiful squares in Spain. Surrounded by historic buildings, it is famous for its markets and events. The Royal Palace, the official residence of the royal family, is only used for ceremonies today. It is one of the largest palaces in Europe. Gran Via, Madrid's most famous avenue, full of shops, theaters, and emblematic buildings such as the Metropolis Building and the Capitol Building. The Prado Museum and the Reina Sofia Museum, two of the most important art museums in the world, with masterpieces by Velázquez, Goya, Picasso, Rubens, and El Bosco. Did you know that Madrid's motto is, "From Madrid to Heaven"? This phrase is due to the beauty and quality of life in the city, suggesting that only heaven can surpass it. Madrid is a city that combines history, art, and modernity with a vibrant lifestyle. From its impressive monuments to its lively neighborhoods, there is much to discover. Ghent, one of the most beautiful and vibrant cities in Belgium. With a fascinating medieval past, impressive architecture, and a youthful atmosphere thanks to its university, Ghent is a jewel that deserves to be explored. Ghent has origins dating back to Celtic times, but it was in the Middle Ages that it became one of the richest and most powerful cities in Europe thanks to the wool trade. During the 13th and 14th centuries, Ghent rivaled Paris and London in size and wealth. Its port and textile industry made it a key commercial center. Built in the 12th century, the Gravenstein, or Castle of the Counts, is one of the best-preserved medieval fortresses in the country. From its towers, the Counts of Flanders ruled one of the most prosperous regions in Europe. This medieval castle is one of the few in Europe that has survived almost intact and offers an incredible view of the city from its main tower. Ghent was an important trading port. Its guild halls on the banks of the Lys River remind us of its glorious past, and its streets of Gralais and Karenlii bear witness to this. St. Michael's Bridge is one of the most photogenic places in Ghent. From here, you can see the city's three iconic towers, that of St. Bavo's Cathedral, the Belfry, and St. Nicholas Church. Today, Ghent is known for its young and dynamic atmosphere, largely thanks to its prestigious university, which gives it a different energy than other Belgian cities. Ghent is a city that combines history, culture, and a vibrant atmosphere. From its imposing castle to its street art, every corner has something special. If you are looking for history, art, and a unique atmosphere, Ghent awaits you. Mostar, one of the most fascinating cities in the Balkans. With its impressive Ottoman bridge, its turbulent history, and its blend of cultures, Mostar is a destination that transports you back in time. Mostar was founded in the 15th century by the Ottoman Empire, quickly becoming an important trading point thanks to its strategic location on the Neretva River. The iconic Starry Most Bridge, built in 1566 under the orders of the Ottoman Sultan Süleyman the Magnificent. The old bridge is the symbol of the city. Its Ottoman architecture and elegant arch made it one of the wonders of the Islamic world. But not everything was rosy for this bridge. During the Bosnian War between 1992 and 1995, Mostar was the scene of intense fighting. In 1993, the Starry Most Bridge was destroyed by Croat shelling, marking one of the most tragic moments of the war. However, in 2004, the bridge was rebuilt using the same original techniques and materials, symbolizing the resilience and reconciliation of Mostar. Today, it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The old town of Mostar, with its cobblestone streets, stone houses, and shops full of Oriental crafts. Walking through this neighborhood is like stepping back in time to the Ottoman era. The Koski Mehmed Pasha Mosque is one of the most impressive mosques in Mostar, with a minaret that can be climbed to enjoy an incredible panoramic view of the city. The Kravis waterfall, an impressive natural waterfall just 40 kilometers from Mostar, is perfect for swimming and relaxing in summer. Its natural beauty is admirable. Mostar is a city that combines beauty and tradition. It teaches us how the history and resilience of its population protect its heritage, offering us a true paradise in the Balkans. Matera, one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world and a true hidden treasure in southern Italy. With its characteristic landscape of houses carved into the rock and its ancient history, Matera is a destination that seems straight out of biblical times. Matera is a region in Italy that boasts a remarkable history, considered one of the oldest continuously inhabited places on Earth, with evidence of human settlements dating back over 9,000 years. The heart of the city is the Sassi, ancient neighborhoods carved into the rock, where families lived for centuries in rudimentary conditions. These dwellings represent one of the oldest forms of urbanism in humanity. Until the mid-20th century, Matera was considered the shame of Italy due to extreme poverty. In recent decades, the city has been reborn and has been declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Matera is home to more than 150 rock churches, temples carved into the stone with well-preserved medieval frescoes. Santa Maria de Idris and San Pietro Barisano stand out. These temples carved into the rock reflect the deep spirituality of the region and its historical importance as a meeting point between East and West. Matera is contemporary with cities like Jericho and Aleppo, with a history of continuous occupation since prehistoric times. Due to its biblical appearance, Matera has been the setting for films such as Mel Gibson's The Passion of the Christ. Matera is a destination that surprises with its history, its beauty, and its resilience, and that seems frozen in time, with a fascinating history and an incomparable charm. Welcome to Vienna, the majestic capital of Austria. A city with centuries of history, the birthplace of classical music, and a witness to the rise and fall of an empire. Vienna traces its origins back to an ancient Celtic settlement that later became a Roman military camp called Vindobona. Over the centuries, it grew into a strategic trading hub in Central Europe. In the 13th century, the Habsburg dynasty turned Vienna into the heart of their vast empire. From here, they ruled for over 600 years, expanding their dominion across Europe. In the 18th century, Vienna flourished culturally with the arrival of composers like Mozart, Beethoven, and Haydn. It was also a center of enlightened thought, with figures like Maria Theresa of Austria promoting education and the modernization of the empire. Vienna played a key role in historical events such as the struggle against the Ottoman Empire in the 17th century and the formation of the Austro-Hungarian Empire in 1867. After the First World War, Austria became a republic, and Vienna maintained its cultural prestige. Although it suffered bombings in the Second World War, today it is one of the most prosperous cities with the best quality of life in the world. Schönbrunn Palace, the former summer residence of the Habsburgs, this palace is a Baroque jewel with over 1,400 rooms. Empress Maria Theresa lived here, and later, Napoleon used it as his headquarters. St. Stephen's Cathedral, one of the most important landmarks in Vienna. It was built in the 12th century and has witnessed weddings, funerals, and key events in Austrian history. Hofburg Palace, the center of power for the Habsburgs. Today, it houses government offices and museums, including the Imperial Apartments and the CC Museum. The Vienna State Opera is a symbol of classical music. It was inaugurated in 1869 with an opera by Mozart and remains one of the best in the world. Prater and its giant Ferris wheel. One of the oldest amusement parks in Europe, famous for its 1897 Ferris wheel, which has appeared in films like The Third Man. Vienna is considered the capital of music. It is home to more famous composers than any other city. There are over 15,000 concerts a year, and even the subway has classical melodies in its announcements. The Danube River is not blue. Despite the famous composition by Johann Strauss, and although it might be playing in the background, the Danube River usually looks greenish or brown depending on the weather. Vienna is a city with a fascinating history, full of art, culture, and surprising corners. From imperial times to its role as the capital of music, it remains an unmissable destination. Helsinki, the capital of Finland and a city that blends elegant architecture, nature, and a relaxed vibe. Surrounded by the Baltic Sea and with modern design in every corner, Helsinki is a gem of Northern Europe. Helsinki was founded in 1550 by King Gustav I of Sweden as a trading port to compete with Tallinn. However, for centuries it remained a small town without great significance. In 1809, Finland became part of the Russian Empire as a Grand Duchy. In 1812, Tsar Alexander I moved the capital from Turku to Helsinki to bring it closer to Russia and reduce Swedish influence. During this era, many of the neoclassical buildings that define the city today were constructed. In 1917, Finland declared its independence from Russia, and Helsinki became the political and cultural center of the new country. Since then, Helsinki has evolved into a modern city, with a strong emphasis on design, innovation, and quality of life. Senate Square, located in the historical heart of Helsinki, surrounded by emblematic buildings such as the Government Palace and the National Library. In Senate Square is also located Helsinki Cathedral, one of the symbols of the city, with its majestic neoclassical architecture and its white and green dome that rises above the square, a true landmark of the city. The fortress of Suomenlinna, a collection of fortified islands declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. They were built in the 18th century to defend the region from Russian invasions. Helsinki has fascinating constructions, such as the Rock Church or Temppeliakio Church, a unique church carved directly into the rock, offering impressive acoustics and fascinating architecture. Market Square Kaupatori, a vibrant place by the harbor, where you can find local products, handicrafts, and stunning views of the Baltic Sea. Helsinki is the coldest capital of the European Union. The winters are long and cold, with temperatures that can drop below -4 degrees Fahrenheit. However, in summer, the days are long and temperatures can exceed 77 degrees Fahrenheit. During the summer, the days can last up to 19 hours, while in winter there are only a few hours of daylight. Helsinki is a city where modernity blends with history and nature. With its relaxed atmosphere, its innovative design, and its stunning beauty, it is a destination that deserves to be visited. It depends on you in which time of year you visit it. Tallinn, the charming capital of Estonia. Here, although it may seem strange, medieval history and digital innovation are mixed. Located on the shores of the Baltic Sea, it is one of the best preserved capitals in Europe. Records are known for the first time in the 12th century, but its importance grew in 1219, when the Danes conquered the city and built a castle on Touview hill. In the 14th century, Tallinn became an important trading port within the Hanseatic League, attracting German and Scandinavian merchants and giving the city its characteristic medieval style. For centuries, the city passed from Danish to Swedish and finally to Russian hands in the 18th century. In 1918, Estonia became independent but was occupied by the Soviet Union in World War II. It was not until 1991 that the country regained its independence and began its transformation into one of the most technologically advanced nations in the world. The old town, Vanillin, is a true medieval treasure, declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO. Its walls, towers, and cobblestone streets transport visitors to the 14th century, when the city was a thriving commercial center. Despite its medieval heritage, Estonia is a world leader in technology and digitalization. And Tallinn is the epicenter of this advancement. With an ecosystem of startups and a digital infrastructure, the country has become a benchmark in e-government and cybersecurity. Estonia, one of the most technologically advanced countries. Skype was born in Tallinn, and the country was the first to offer online voting. Tallinn is only 80 kilometers from Helsinki, Finland, and there are daily ferries between both cities. With its unique blend of history, culture, and modernity, Tallinn is a city that captivates those who visit it. The city that seems taken from a fairy tale, but that also looks to the future with its focus on technology and digitalization. And we end in Italy. Venice, one of the most magical and romantic cities in the world. Built on 118 islands and crossed by canals instead of streets, Venice is a unique destination that dazzles with its architecture, history, and unparalleled charm. It is a destination that seems taken from another time. And how did the city on the water originate? Venice was born in the 5th century when the inhabitants of the region fled the barbarian invasions and sought refuge on the islands of the lagoon. Over time, they built a unique city on wooden stakes submerged in the water. During the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, Venice became a maritime power, controlling trade in the Mediterranean. Its fleet and its wealth made it one of the most influential cities in Europe. In 1797, Napoleon conquered Venice, marking the end of its independence. Throughout the centuries, the city has struggled against floods and erosion, but it remains one of the most visited destinations in the world. The Grand Canal is the main artery of Venice, flanked by majestic palaces that reflect centuries of splendor. Along its route, we find the emblematic Rialto Bridge, the oldest and one of the symbols of the city. The heart of Venice is the impressive St. Mark's Square, home to the majestic St. Mark's Basilica, a dazzling example of Byzantine architecture. Next to it, the imposing Doge's Palace, which was the residence of the Venetian rulers and a symbol of the power of the Republic of Venice. An impressive temple with mosaics, golden and historical relics, with secret passages and views of the Grand Canal. Gondolas have been the traditional means of transport in Venice for centuries. Taking a gondola ride through its narrow canals is one of the most iconic experiences of the city, allowing you to discover hidden corners and the essence of its romanticism. The Bridge of Sighs, which connected the Doge's Palace with the old prison. It is said that the prisoners sighed when they saw Venice for the last time before being imprisoned. A few minutes by boat from Venice, we find Murano, famous for its exquisite art in glass, and Burano, a picturesque island known for its houses of vibrant colors and its traditional handmade lace. Every year, Venice celebrates its carnival with elaborate masks and 18th-century attire. The Carnival of Venice is one of the most emblematic festivities in the world, where elaborate masks and Baroque costumes transform the city into a dreamlike setting, a tradition that evokes the splendor of the ancient Venetian Republic. Venice is a city that seems suspended in time, where every corner tells a story. It is a unique city in the world, full of mystery and beauty. And so we reach the end of our journey through 50 incredible places in Europe. If you made it this far, thank you so much for joining us on this adventure. We'd love to know which of these places you'd like to visit first, or if you've already been to any of them. Leave us your comment down below. And if you enjoyed this tour, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss more content like this. See you in the next video, where we'll continue exploring the world together. Until next time.